next guest is a Hollywood heavyweight. He's a record-breaking producer with films that have grossed more than $1 billion worldwide. And when he's not busy producing blockbusters for the big screen, he's producing hit TV shows for the small screen. Please welcome our friend, Will Packer. Come on, Packer. Hey!
Ladies, I'm back. What's up, dog?
Will, we missed you. Hold up.
We
Love having you. Hold up.
Everybody
Where's the toasty
good?
fireplace? Where's the
I got it.
fireplace?
Well, I switched it up because you can't see what happened is y'all messed me up. Y'all told me y'all liked my background last time. So I was like, ooh, if they like that one, they gonna love this one. So I was like, Heather, baby, you gotta give me a new background. So I got a fireplace. I'm gonna turn it on for y'all in a little bit. How y'all doing?
As long Heather hooked you up. Okay, amazing. Where are you calling us from? Are you at home?
I am. I'm in Atlanta right now, at home in Atlanta. Feeling good, you know. It's a new day in America. It's a great day in America.
Amen.
And,
That's right.
as the person of color, I can exhale a little bit, right? And we all can exhale a little bit. It doesn't mean that the work stops. There's a lot more work to do, but we can exhale a little bit just being in a country that now has at least proven a little bit that our lives absolutely do matter, and there is some accountability within law enforcement. So I'm taking some solace in that right now.
We celebrate with you, Will. Absolutely. You're so right. There's so much more work to do, but this is a start in the right direction. And last time, Will, the last time that you were here, we spoke about the future of theaters, and it was recently announced that the iconic ArcLight Cinemas Theater in Los Angeles is not going to reopen. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, you know, so for people who don't know, this is, like you said, an iconic movie theater, huge dome right there in the middle of Hollywood. I've actually had probably 5 or 6 movie premieres there, a lot of huge movies that premiered there, and they're saying that they're going to close it down. Now, I'm hopeful that it's going to reopen. I'm hopeful this isn't permanent, but what it means is that that's one less venue and an iconic venue where our movies can be seen on the big screen. Doesn't mean theatrical viewing is going to go away, though. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm still somebody that is a proponent and is hopeful that people will be able to see movies wherever you want to see them. You'll be able to see them at home, streaming on your devices, or go and get that big screen experience. As a movie producer, I can tell you guys, there's nothing like that big screen experience. So I really hope it does come back and that we have that movie-going experience that we've all kind of grown up with and gotten used to. I hope that becomes a part of our mix of the way that we watch stuff.
Yeah,
I love that. Surround sound and all. Well, you said you're in Atlanta. So let's talk about Georgia. Last month, Governor Brian Kemp signs the bill for the state's new election laws, and so many of us are concerned. How do these new laws affect the entertainment industry, and what should productions do?
You know, that's the right question. It's the right question to ask. It's a complex issue because most of the people that are working within the film industry, they did not vote for the legislators that put these archaic laws in place. And so while I respect some filmmakers that say, I can't film in Georgia, I can't go down there and film because it would show support for this legislature, support for this government, I understand that. But make no mistake, the people that we hire, the people that work in the industry, they didn't vote for these folks, and these aren't their laws. So I don't want to punish any of them. I'm not moving my productions out of Georgia because the people in Georgia who drive trucks, who place lights, who do catering, who do everything on our film productions, they need these jobs. So I'm going to stay shooting in Georgia. The other thing is that you got to understand that somebody like the governor of Georgia, he actually is empowered by being able to say, I ran Hollywood out of Georgia. Those folks are liberal. They're left-leaning. They don't have our viewpoints. And so it makes me, the governor, look strong if I can say these productions are leaving the state, especially since he's got his issues with the past president who said he wasn't strong enough because he didn't back his unfounded claims of election fraud, right? So he's trying to show to that base, look at what I'm doing. Look at how I'm being strong and I'm running these other folks out of town. But in reality, what we have to do as a community is let our voice be heard. We got to make sure that people know we're not standing for this. We're still going to support the real people on the ground that are working in Georgia, but we're not going to let them get away with trying to take us back to a bygone era. And the way you do that is that you vote, period. Remember, even in the Chauvin case, in that trial that we just saw, where we finally got a modicum of justice, remember, the attorney general, that's an elected position. So if we don't go out and vote, we don't have somebody that then goes, presses the charges and pushes the case to get him convicted. It's all related. It's all about voting and making sure that your voice is heard.
Will Packer, you may have to run for a governor or something. You know your stuff. I love it. I love
I'm
it.
too busy making movies, Garcelle. You know that. You know how we love our industry. I'm not ready to give this up yet.
No, and we don't want you to. We don't want you to. But I want to ask you a question. You said that in Hollywood, you can't win without Black women, and I love that. But what did you mean about it?
That's a fact. I mean, truer words never spoken. Listen, Hollywood is no different from the rest of the world, and you guys know you can't win anywhere without Black women, period.
Facts.
What you've seen in Hollywood, though, is that for so long, this is an industry that has ignored the voices of the underserved. And they've ignored the experiences and the power and the value of folks, especially Black women, because we haven't had Black women in positions of power to greenlight projects. So I'm somebody that is very proud of the fact that I've made movies and shows that Black women have come out and supported in a big way. Period. I'm winning because Black women have supported my projects. And the other folks in my industry will realize, once you realize that that audience is so powerful, so pervasive and persuasive, once you realize that they have the ability to take a piece of content and make it louder and bigger than it ever would have been, right? When you show them as round people, not perfect, not totally imperfect, just real people. When you do that, and I've done that in movies like Girls Trip or Think Like a Man or a bunch of other stuff that I've done, you do that and you do it right, you will be rewarded. You'll be rewarded in a commercial sense, which of course our industry operates under an economic imperative, but also because it's the right damn thing to do.
Yes.
Absolutely preaching,
So
bruh. You know, speaking of Black women, you worked with Marsai Martin a little, which made her the youngest executive producer. And she says that she's not going to have Black trauma in her projects. What are your thoughts on that?
I commend her. Listen, Marsai is, she's wise beyond her years. And there are a lot of people that are uncomfortable with the way that Black trauma is being portrayed in a lot of content. Now, listen, make no mistake. I'm somebody that believes that creators, artists, directors, writers, you got a right to tell your story. And we haven't had enough Black folks being able to tell their stories in Hollywood mediums for so long that I embrace the opportunity for them to tell their stories. But audiences, you vote with your dollars, right? You vote with what you stream and what you watch. So if you don't want to see that, you don't watch it, period, and Hollywood won't make it. I'm somebody, I made a remake of the iconic series Roots. And we remade it because I wanted a younger generation to know the story of Africans coming over to America. But it was painful. And I said to my team and myself and everybody around me at the time, this is it. I'm choosing not to go back and tell slave era stories after this one. I thought it was important, but that was it. I don't want to do anything that fetishizes or glamorizes or in any way exploits the pain of the Black experience. And because we're still going through it, that's what makes us different than so many other groups in America. We're still dealing with it, as seen by the trial this week, right? So we're still dealing with the ramifications of a system and a country that has not respected us. And so I choose in the stuff that I create to not go back and not show that. And I think Marsai is feeling the same way, and I respect that, and I understand.
But I want to say that Roots was very educational and historic, and I commend you for doing that. And that's what we need. We don't want to let go of the education wheel. You know, yes, the trauma, but we still need to educate, and the history is so important that we keep that.
You gotta know your story, Lonnie. I mean, if you don't know your story, right? You don't know your history. You've heard that. You're bound to repeat it. So we gotta know, right? We don't want to shy away from the harsh realities of what has happened. But that also doesn't mean that in terms of things that are entertainment, in terms of things that we're pushing out there and the way we're depicting them, we got to be very, very careful because we don't want people to get numb to the trauma, right? We don't want people to get used to seeing Black people in pain and being treated a certain way. So there's a balance to it, but you're absolutely right. We don't want to whitewash or forget or turn away from the history, as painful as it may be.
Yes, absolutely, Will. And we do appreciate that you are sharing the stories of friends on your BET Plus show, Bigger. The second season premieres today, so tell us exactly what's happening this season.
So it's fun. Listen, if you haven't seen Bigger, it's a sexy friends comedy. That's how I think about it, right? It's dealing with 30-somethings living in Atlanta. You know, it's a different world right now, especially for that generation trying to figure out, is my life, am I living the full potential of my life? Am I doing what I should be doing? Is there something bigger out there? Our series explores what happens when you're always searching for bigger, which a lot of 30-somethings can relate to. So this is the second season of that show, and it's fun. We go, this is a crew of knuckleheads, but they're lovable knuckleheads that are trying to figure out how to navigate life and love and friendships.
Well, we have
Love
a
it.
clip. Here's a little taste of Bigger. Check it out.
They cut the cameras. You can drop the act.
All I care about is getting you back.
Forgiveness is the first step to opening the road to trust.
What do you want, Ken?
I want the one that got away.
You think you can just make a decision like this and I just hop on board?
Work is going well,
Billie freaking Eilish.
but you are not exactly happy. You want more.
What's up now?
I'm a free spirit, and I'm celibate.
Check, please.
Check, please. Season 2 of Bigger premieres today on BET Plus.